Okay, so let's go back to the list of conversations here. And I'm going to clear this search that's talking about new fees and start a new search here. And let's say we just made some changes to our website, and I want to see if how that's affecting. Is that impacting call volumes? Are people calling and asking about the website? And in some cases, digital channels are actually driving calls back into the call center. A great quote I recently heard was that the phone is the new branch for the digital channels. So people who are looking at their phone, seeing something interesting, seeing a new fee or something, will immediately pick up and call. And I want to see how that's affecting us. So I'm going to type the word web, and the system automatically knows what people are talking about, so it could tell me whether or not people are talking about the web, and actually talking quite a bit. Almost 40% of conversations mention the web, and there's different variations: web, websites. One click I can add those terms, and then the system immediately gives me some context to these discussions around web and website. For example, password failing. That's interesting. So if that's driving calls into the web related to the website to my contact center, maybe I want to investigate that. And I can actually narrow down my search from all discussions on websites to ones particularly talking about passwords. Well over 1,000 calls on that. Again, a lot of these calls are emotional. I can listen to these, but before I listen to another call, I can go and drill down and see what else can the system tell me about these conversations about my website and what this password issue. And click on categories here, and at this point the system takes this query around passwords and analyzes everything else we have. So we have categories predefined, and we actually have a category that relates to password, and obviously there's a very strong correlation between these password issue and this category, not surprising. But this password issue relates to longer holds, to escalations, to discussions on loans, on repeat calls, on retention. So it's correlated to a lot of key issues that I'm tracking, including average handle time. Look at the impact there. Wow. My average handle time overall is about 8 minutes, almost 9 minutes, but handle time on these password related calls is over 16 minutes, almost double, an 86% impact. Hold time, look at that, 174% impact on the hold time, from less than half a minute to well over almost a minute and a quarter, which is big impact. Immediately, I'm seeing the impact of each issue here. I can see the trend line. In fact, password was trending high, and then we managed to cut it down a little bit, but now lately it's trending up again. So with one click, I'm getting a lot of information before I even have to listen to any call. If I want to get a little bit more context, again, this is a solution that dives into every word and phrase. I can drill into the actual context, and here we go. I found all the related terms that are associated with these discussions on password. Password expiring, changing passwords, firewall issues. Again, before I listen to calls, I can get a sense, do I want to drill into one of these things and get an understanding of the overall context. I can slice and dice this even further with a lot of metadata and different charts. For example, there's a chart here that's showing me the distribution over time, and you can see that here's the trend over in the past and how it's starting to go up again. What's interesting here is that these calls don't necessarily happen during the busy daytime, not in the morning or midday, but mostly in the afternoon and evening. Now, maybe there's an opportunity here to schedule more technical support or web support people that can help resolve this and reduce that handle time and the hold time that we saw by scheduling more folks in the evening. There's a lot, depending on the metadata that you have, you can slice this by employee, by various call metrics. So there's a lot of more diving you can do here. And one more thing here is automated root cause. If I want to go back to understanding that context, but break it down into quantifiable subsets, this is what automated root cause does. It shows me these subgroups. For example, password on mobile device, iPhone, Safari, is almost half of the conversations. Big issue here. Other discussions on never received, I guess the system is generating a password, or just wrong password, or somebody typed in a wrong password. And again, I can click on any one of these pie charts and say, hey, let's dive into this issue. This is an addressable issue, an actionable issue that I want to highlight and address. And again, I get a list of calls, prioritized calls that I may want to listen to. And again, I can listen to the call right here, or open up that full environment where I see that separated transcript. right here and do an evaluation and tag the call, etc.